Pendle is one of 16 areas in the UK identified by the Electoral Commission as susceptible to fraud in elections. Conservative Council candidate Abdullah Zaid says activists here coerce vulnerable voters and sometimes complete postal ballots for them before getting them to sign.
What they do, they ask them, how we'll know that you're voting to us. So to assure us, you need to do the postal vote applications. And then they do the application themselves and get their signatures and send for the postal votes, and they got all the record.
Pendle Lib Dem councillor Tony Greaves said fiddling postal votes has happened at every local election in Pendle since 2002, and it's taken this long for people and the police to sit up and take notice. It's a disgrace to British democracy. But the leader of the Labour Party in Pendle said the problem can be just as bad at the polling stations.
One of the reasons that people chose postal voting in Pendle is because they were fed up of certain political activists, and this is across all parties, both Labour, Liberal Democrats and Conservatives, that activists used to stand outside polling stations and harass people.
The 16 at-risk areas are mostly Asian communities. In the north, the cities include Pendle, along with other cities such as Burnley and Oldham. In the Midlands, the cities include Birmingham and Coventry, and in the south, Slough, Woking and finally Tower Hamlets, who are so concerned about bullying, police officers will be stationed at all of their 125 polling stations for the entire voting period.
In general, it's been enthusiastic campaigners gathering in large numbers outside polling stations and trying to convince electors as they're coming in to vote who they should be voting for, and sometimes that can be intimidating for people. Sometimes it can block access into the polling station.
And it's completely against the rules.
And it's certainly against the Electoral Commission's Code of Conduct.
They've also put in place the most robust ever fraud prevention system, not just screening signatures and dates of birth on postal votes, but also visiting houses with high numbers of registered voters. The result, over 5,000 names have been removed from the electoral register in Tower Hamlets since February. The Electoral Commission believe that voter fraud isn't widespread, but there are significant questions about it in communities such as this one in Tower Hamlets. And for that reason, they want to bring in tighter regulations. For example, making it mandatory for people to hand over some form of identification when they go to a polling station. The Commission believes if rigging and bullying isn't dealt with, some people in this country can't properly exercise their right to vote. Jason Farrell, Sky News.